Hello everybody! I know it's been like forever since you've seen me. I'm here to tell you what's been going on in life and to show you all this wonderful cross-stitch things that I have in front of me that I've been working on and what I haven't. No, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say what I haven't been working on. I'm not going to show you that because there's really no update on that. And just to talk about life because a lot of you miss me and you want to see what's going on. So I'm here to show you what's been going on. So I don't really remember the last video when I hate watching my own videos, so I don't want to go back and look at it, but I believe it was in November, and I do think that like I was starting to flare up again with my RA. So when I went back to my doctor, he's like, well, we're going to start trying to take steroids when you have your Remicade infusions. I'm like, oh, okay, well that sucks because I hate steroids. Steroids are awful drugs, but they do help a lot. But the side effects are terrible, so I was like, but you know, I don't want to drag this on, but to be honest, the steroids do help. So in November and December, when I had my infusions, November, December, yeah, I think it was November, December. I took steroids right after I had my Remicade infusions, and it actually carried me from November until like 1 week ago without any flares, which was amazing. So I had like such a good time with life from that amount of time. Now I am starting to flare up again, so I'm going to assume that next time I see the rheumatologist, he's going to be like, here, have some more steroids, go crazy, because that's what they do to me. They make me really happy at first, and then they make me psychotic. I think I talked about that on here before, and I told him that, and he's like, well, you got to try to, you know, just rest and be easy, not kill people, because that's against the law. But you know, right now it's just in my hands, like you can see. Like I don't really like showing my hands, but you can see, especially this one. And it's not too painful, but the swelling's crazy. It's not really anywhere else, so I mean I can't say that I'm doing terrible, but you know, for the flare to come back kind of sucks at the same time. But otherwise I've been doing great. I got some, you know, news about my son, and that's really a lot of the time that it's been taken up for me is, you know, he's in his 8th grade year now this year, and it's very difficult. 8th grade is hard nowadays. So if you have the Common Core, and if your kids started with that, it could be easier, or your kids don't have learning disabilities, it might be easy for them. But my son's autistic, and autistic people are very set in their ways. He has Asperger's syndrome. So he learned one way up until like 5th grade, and then they started the Common Core program in New Jersey. So it's very difficult for him. And in 8th grade, the teachers told us, even at the first parent-teacher conference in November, they're like, listen, this is really hard for him because we have to throw work at the kids, no matter what their disabilities are, if they're in special education or not. And we're trying so hard, and if his grades are a little lower this year, it's because it's very difficult for him. I mean, so even the teachers know that it's not his fault, it's just the programs that they need to do now. And it was crazy. So I've been working so hard with Andrew to try to get him through, and he's doing great. I mean, it was really hard in the beginning, but he's improving. It's a lot of work. And also in the beginning of the year, I know I mentioned this on my channel before, we were thinking and talking about high school. Now, we have a technical school in our county, and the admissions for the technical school isn't you just go to technical school if that's what you choose. When I was in high school, you could do that. You had to write an essay, and then they just let you in. The demand to go to that school is so high that you actually have to apply and pass their, I don't even know what it's called, their standards to get in, I guess. And we went to the open house back in November, I think it was September. It couldn't have been November, it was in September. And we're sitting there, excuse me, with all these children and their parents, and they told us straight out, we have over 500 applications, we have 250 spots. So more than half of you aren't going to get into this program in this school, and good luck. So I was like, oh God, please let him get in, because our local high school is not the greatest school in the world. There's a lot of fighting and drug use, and I mean, it's not like the most horrible school you can think of, but it's not good. It's gone downhill since I went there when I was a teenager, and even my nephew's there now, and he's just like, I don't want Andrew to go there. It's hard. So we spent from September when we applied all the way up till February to get an answer. We're on the edge of our seats. And then finally on the last day for answers, we got an email and Andrew got into the program, and we were so happy. I mean, it was like the best thing that could happen to us. So yeah, my little boy's going to high school soon. And he's going to go to the technical school. The program he got into was for cinematography, so he'll be doing filmmaking and writing and producing, and he'll be learning all that for 4 years. It's a really good program. So for 2 hours a day, instead of having like specials like art and what other electives you had in high school, he'll be doing a shop for 2 hours a day just focusing on cinematography, which is really good because in his school now, he actually has a program that's called, what is it called? Mass media, which is pretty much cinematography and, you know, video media and all that good stuff. And he loved that class. I mean, he killed that class. He got 100%. He got awards in that class. So I'm really happy for him. You know, ever since Andrew was a little boy, that's what he loved to do. He will take paper, and I give him papers and notebooks, and I'll be like, here, draw or whatever you want to. And he'll actually just draws storyboards and comics, and he writes character profiles, and I'm proud of him, and I can't wait. So it's very exciting. So life is good, you know. And oh, our bees, a lot of people ask about the bees. We managed to take all 4 of the hives that were left at the end of summer last year, and we took them all over winter. They all survived. Weather is crazy right now. It's mid-April in New Jersey. It should be warm, it should be sunny, rain, you know, because we get a lot of rain in spring. But the weather is cold and it snows, and we're just like, what's going on? But the bees are good. I mean, we feed them because if nothing's blooming, they don't have food really. I mean, they have pollen, they're taking pollen and making bee bread and stuff, but we're feeding them and they're all alive and they're doing really good. So we're hoping to have some honey flow this spring, and we'll have honey. And I'm thinking that because when we do the bees, I go there and my husband does most of the work, and I'm like, hey, let me do this, let me do that. I'm punching things. And there's really not much for me to do except stand there. And he's very hands-on, and I'm just like, let me in on it. I'm thinking I'm going to just bring the camera and I'll record, and we'll keep you guys up to date on the other channel. I have it linked on my channel if you haven't done it. It's 3 Dogs Farms. That's what we're going to sell as when we sell our honey and our honey products. So, yeah, next time we do the bees will be the end of this month. We'll be taking their, I almost said their flea treatments off of them because, you know, they're dogs and they got fleas. No, they're mite treatments because all honeybees have mites. All of them. Every last one of them. You got to treat for that, and we'll be taking that out, so I'll film that for you guys and you can see the bees. Yay! Okay, so as for stitching goes, I have a lot of whips. I have a few finishes, but a lot of whips. I've actually been doing art classes again. It's not that I don't want to stitch and I can't stitch, because stitching is really good for my arthritis. Keep your joints moving is good. My friend wanted me to paint her a picture for her birthday, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I attempted to do it, and it didn't come out the way I wanted to. And I'm like, you know, I was taking my classes in watercolor painting, and I never finished the ones that I paid for. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go back and do my art classes. So I did those, and then I took additional graphite art classes, which is drawing, obviously, you guys know that. And art comprehension, ouch. Hitting those knuckles hurts. Our comprehension classes, watercolor and graphite classes. So that takes some time every week from me, so I'm not stitching when I'm doing that, obviously. I say the smartest things. So I have a lot of whips, and I have some finishes, and I have some stash to show you, but not a lot, because I've been good. So let's get on with that. So on Cross Stitch and Discuss, they're doing a stash and stitch restrain. I think that's what it's called. That's very hard to say, so I'm not going to attempt it again. And that's where you don't start or stash after January 15th of this year. And right before that, they did a crazy 7 stitch along where you started 7 projects. So I said, that's a really good idea. I'm going to start these 7, and then I'm not going to start any more after the 15th. And I'm not going to buy any more stash because you guys know I have a lot of stash to work on. So I thought it was a good idea. So I participate in that right now. I haven't bought any stash and I haven't started anything new. I look at this as I put a few stitches into some projects, and if I don't work on them this year or next year or the year before, it's kind of almost the same as having them sit in my stash, right? I mean, what's the big deal? But I intend on finishing these ones probably before I start any other projects, you know, unless it's a gift. Now I want to make a few gifts for a few people special in my life, so I might start those as I'm doing these as well. I'm just not with it today. So we'll see. Anyways, let me show you what I have here now. Okay, as for finishes go, I do have some ornaments. You haven't seen me since I did ornaments for Christmas. I think I posted these on Instagram and Facebook, so you might have seen them before. I gave some of them away that you didn't see, so I'll post pictures of those ones here. But I have 3 that I kept. All of them are from the Just Cross Stitch magazines, and I can link it if you want me to, or if you want to know which one is from which, I can tell you in a comment. So this is the first one, and this one was called Snowbirds, I think, and it's from one of the Just Cross Stitches, like I said, and that's that one. Now how I finished this, I got that idea from the Twisted Stitcher. If you guys don't know her site, just type in, honestly, in Google, the Twisted Stitcher finishing ideas. She has tons of finishing ideas there. Easy to follow instructions, and I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but I like how it turned out, and I think that's a really good idea of how to finish ornaments that's different. This one's called the Decorator, and that's just a flat finish. Nothing too fancy. I thought that was cute. And this one's called Rejoice, and obviously I love sheep, so it's a little sheep. Now if you guys are into card making or scrapbooking and you have a die cutting machine, I have one, but it's not like a big one that's electronic or anything. I have one that you crank. That's how I got a perfect round circle for my cardstock, to make that. Like, I was trying so hard to, you can use like a glass or something round to trace and then cut it out, but for some reason I just couldn't get it cut perfectly circular, and then I'm like, you know, I'm gonna die cut that circle. That's such a good idea. So that's an idea of how to get a perfect round circle if you just can't manage it like me. I just can't do it, I don't know. So that's how I did that. And if you have a die cutting machine and you have different shapes of dies, you can cut any shape and do any kind of finish like this. And I think I'm going to do more finishes with different shapes. I don't have a ton of dies because I don't do a ton of card making, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a good idea. I actually think I cut all of them. I don't know why I said that. I cut all of the shapes with the die cutter because I'm like a delinquent when it comes to, I don't know if that's the right word, when it comes to cutting perfect shapes. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't even. Okay, and my other finish is one that I started with the Crazy 7, and it was this. I know I showed you this when I, hi Clover, that's Clover. I know I showed you guys this when I stashed it or bought it. It was called Buzzing Around You by Chessie and Me, and it's this cute little sheep and bee pattern. Now this had some cross stitch in it, and it's a cross stitch pattern technically, but it had a lot of specialty stitches. So you guys know when I have mixed stitches in my embroidery that I just love it, and this was really fun to stitch. It was very quick, and I remember when I showed you guys this back last year, I think, when I got it, that I was like dreading the French knots on this, but my friend Ildi, she taught me how to do it. She actually, the one thing she said to me that clicked was, you gotta put your Q snap down and use both hands to do it. And now I know how to make French knots. You can see in his body that I managed to make all those French knots. And there you go. I hope you're seeing that. Let me peek around here. Can you see me? Oh, hi, there I am. Right, there it is. I love how they have that finished. It looks like it's in a box. Actually, that's probably a frame, but I would love to finish it on a box like that. Okay, so even though I'm on a stash restraint until like, I think it's till July. It doesn't matter because I don't really want to buy things. I want to stitch what I have. But I did get a couple of gifts for Christmas and my birthday. One's for my birthday, Christmas combined. And my sister-in-law, who's my husband's sister, bought me these two things for Christmas. And this is a Victorian Halloween Witch, Fire Cauldron, and Black Cat. It is by, oh my god, I have a hard enough time saying normal everyday words, and I'm supposed to say that. Orenco Originals for the Artful Needleworker. And this is an amazing Halloween cross stitch. It's adorable, and it looks like that. Now, we all know I like spooky things and Halloween, and what I really love about this is I find that the little devil guys floating around there, they're really cute. No, I don't worship the devil, alright, but they're cute. They are. Cute little devils. You're a cute little devil. You're a cute little devil. This looks like it's gonna be a lot of work, but that's okay, because sometimes having stitches that are a lot of work is fun to do. I'm actually working on one right now. And then she got me the Twisted Stitches book. Now, I've seen this book everywhere. I've wanted this book for ages, but I haven't bought it because I have so much to stitch, so it was really nice of her to get me this. I think, there's a glare on it. I think she knows me pretty well, so she knows that I would be the kind of person to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. It says 30 corrupt cross stitch and embroidery designs. Sometimes I see some cross stitch things out there, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. But, you know, to each their own. And this has things like, you see there's Santa Claus in his undies, kind of flashing you. I know some people are like, oh my god. Which I think that's funny, you know. You can give that as a gift to your twisted friends. Let's see what else they have in there that I can show without showing the pattern. There's one that says Lizzie Borden took an axe, and they have a bloody axe. I don't quite know if I would stitch that, because I don't know what I would do with it. There's a middle finger. It says tweet this, so I'm not gonna show you guys that. Because I know not everybody has my kind of taste or sense of humor, so I respect you. And the last one is a combined gift from my husband and my in-laws. My husband gave me a gift card from abcstitch.com for, I almost said my birthday, but it was for Christmas. And then I saw something I wanted on there, and I wanted to kit it up because I had such a large gift card, and I didn't have quite enough money to do that on the gift card, so I waited for my birthday. My parents usually give me money, but then my in-laws gave me just enough money to finish kitting it up. So I'm like, I'm gonna, you know, get that with the combined money and say this is my gift. So what I got was the Queen of the Fairies from Mirabilia, and that's what she looks like. So I had no interest really in stitching her. I've seen her a million times until I went on a website for Mirabilia's. I don't think the website's up anymore. I think they took it down in February, where people posted their Mirabilia's that they've stitched, and I saw it stitched on a different color fabric, and I was like, that is gorgeous, I want to do that. So I actually bought the fabric in that color, and it's a light blue. It's called Zephyr by, who did this? Picture This Plus. That's why this took so long to get, and I understand that, but frig, you know. I feel like if I ordered the fabric directly from Pictures Plus, it might have taken less time, but 2 months it took me. I get it. Like, I totally understand what some of you are thinking. Like, are you honestly gonna stitch that right now? No, I'm not. But when we order stuff, we like look forward to getting it in the mail so bad. It's like, where's my package so I can touch my pretties and throw it on the floor and roll in it? You know. If you're watching this, you know. So that's what that looks like. So when I saw her stitched on this color blue fabric, it was just one of the most beautiful stitches I've ever seen, and I had to have her. And that's what I got. And I got all her threads. Actually, they didn't, okay. I normally order from 123 Stitch. I'm not going to complain about ABC Stitch. I'm just not going to order from them anymore because I've had problems with them in the past, but they didn't send me all of my floss colors. They didn't send me my, what was in here? 3B5 200s. That's the Snow White. They didn't send me those, and if a shade had more than one color, it didn't come in this. It just came with one. I could contact them and wait another 5 years to get those colors, but I'm actually just going to go to the craft store and buy them because I'm not dealing with them anymore. But that's my rant. Okay, and then I got these braids and some beads and charms from Mill Hill that goes with it. And when I go to stitch her, I'll, you know, show you more details. Okay, so I started 7 with the Crazy 7 at the beginning of the year, and one that I'm working on is the Little House Needleworks Bold Nantucket. It looks like that. Very pretty. If you remember, I got this way back so long ago when I went to, I almost said Nantucket, but I went to Cape Cod on vacation with my husband, and this is like my Remember Cape Cod type stitch because I couldn't find an actual just Cape Cod stitch. I actually have thread hanging out of this because I just gave up when I was working on it. I didn't give up, I had to start another one, so I'm like, I'm gonna start this one. Plus I probably just didn't want to work on it anymore. But this is as far as I got. Not very far at all, but you know, it's an easy piece. They're, you know, Little House Needleworks tend to be not very challenging, but they're beautiful when they're done. Another one is actually, I started this with the Crazy 7, but it was another stitch along. It's the Victorian Charm stitch along. I haven't posted in that stitch along since I last posted because I haven't worked on it, but it's the Victorian Charm. My husband gave me this kit. He surprised me because he wanted to give me a little present one day. A lot of people have a lot of trouble working on this because it's a dark fabric. I don't have trouble working on it because it's a dark fabric because I do put the white towel on my lap, and I find that helps a little bit. And this is how far I got on this one. I think I worked on this one for maybe 2 or 3 days. I really like this one. It is a bit of a challenge. It's a big piece. Okay, so another one we have was another stitch along, and I actually submitted 2 to that stitch along. I started a brand new one, and I had another one that I was working on in that stitch along, and I'll show you that one too, where I've gone with that one. But it was the Lavender and Lace stitch along, and again, I haven't posted this one and that in a long time, or the other one because I haven't really worked on them. But this is Isabel's Garden by Lavender and Lace. Whoa, take that out of there. I'm gonna blind everybody. What's my chicken hair doing? That's Isabel's Garden. Now, a long time ago when I first got back into stitching, I saw this and I fell in love with it. It's just so cute. I mean, she's adorable the way I'm gonna blind you again. The way she's blowing the bubbles, and it's very whimsical and just beautiful. So I did start it. I didn't get very far on it, but that's my progress. Let me see if you can see. Another one for the Crazy 7 was another one for another stitch along, and that was the Disney Dreams stitch along. So I started my Disney Dreams kit, which was the Little Mermaid. I'm dropping things. I got this when I went to Disney World in August 2015. I want to go back. We're planning our next trip to Disney World, which will probably be in 2019. So it takes a lot of saving money to go there. It's very expensive. But this is my progress on that. This kit is very big. It's a lot of color changing and it is a lot of work. It's a full coverage, but I actually like working on this one. I maybe worked on it for 2-3 days, but I liked it when I was working on it. I thought when I opened the kit and I saw the pattern, I'm like, I'm not gonna ever finish this. I'm gonna work on it and I'm gonna give up and it's gonna be done, but I do enjoy working on it. I do have some progress on Secret Santa. I started this last year for the other lavender and lace stitch along. But you could submit another one to the current year stitch along if you had less than 15% done, and I did. So that's what Secret Santa looks like. Now my last time I showed you this, I think I only had Santa and the part of the chair done. I could be mistaken, but I think that was it. So this is what I have done now. Just make sure you can see. So you can see I did this part up here by the arm where my pinky's kind of showing, and then the tree, the outline of the tree. Again, it's a lot of work. It's a big piece, but I like working on them. It's very pretty, a lot of pretty colors. Stone roses. I got a wild and crazy hair over my butt, and I worked a lot on her back in, I want to say February, January. So I got farther, I don't want to say far, but I got farther on her, and then, you know, I'm like, you can do it, keep going. But then I was just like, I need to move on. So last time you saw her, I think it was up to, I don't think I had any of the silks done on her, I don't think. So maybe it was up to here, the blue and this piece, but then now I've gone up more. I really hope you can see that well. I'm gonna have to like start laying her down and filming her that way, because she is big. I used to set goals to have her done 2015. I want to say I want to have her done 2016, but I don't know what life ever is going to hold for me as far as being sore, not being able to stitch, so it'd be nice to finish her this year, have her framed and on the wall, but I see people do Mirabilias in like 2 months. I'm just like, what? You are fast. So I thought I only had one more whip to show you, but I actually had two more from the Crazy 7. I'm not counting them as I'm going. And this one's called The Lighthouse from Bent Creek, and that's actually what I'm currently trying to finish. I'm very far on it. That's what I've been working on. And it looks like this. I'm trying to not glare and blind everybody. And this is my progress on this one. And there's one more that I have to show you. It's called One Sheep Open Sleigh by Waxing Moon Designs. I remember when I got this and I showed you guys, I was like, oh my god, it's a sheep pulling a sleigh with a snowman, and it was just cute. I got this at my, what we'd like to call my local needlework shop, which is about an hour from my house. And this is just too cute for words, and I'm this far on it. I did work on this for a long time too. It's one of those ones that you don't want to put down once you're so far. But then one day I was working on the sleigh part and I'm just like, okay, I've had enough. Let's start working on something else. But of course I had to get Mr. Sheep there stitched up first. Okay, as you can see, I'm buried in whips, which is okay. It's very unusual for me. I don't usually have this many going at once, but honestly, I kind of like it because it gives me a lot of variety when I get bored. I can just be like, I'm gonna work on you, I'm gonna work on you, I'm gonna work on you. And as you can see, I'm kind of still sticking to what I do. Normally, I'm working on 1 or 2 or 3 at a time, and the other ones are just kind of sitting there waiting for me to finish another one. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. And I apologize again for being gone for so long. I know I make some of you worry, but you don't really have to worry about me. I think if anything catastrophic happened to my health or to me, we would find a way to get you guys a message to let you know. Normally, if I'm not making videos, it's not because I'm sick, it's probably because I'm just busy. Or I just, you know, it's like I say, most of the time it's because if I feel well, I'm doing what I would normally be doing if I wasn't sick, you know? And then when I get some downtime, I want to stitch or I want to do something like that. But it's important to find time for my channel, and I understand that, and hopefully I won't wait so long next time. I'm like in a fog today. I'm like, so again, thank you guys always for watching and supporting and checking up on me when you do. It was nice to get some emails from friends and encouragement from friends again. And I will be back soon. I promise this time I won't wait so long. And again, thanks for watching. Bye! I'm sorry, there's a bird out there. I'm like, bird. There's the man out there. I'm itchy. I feel very crooked today. Statch. It was really creepy because through the trees it looked like it was like a guy in a suit. Oh, that scared me. There was something out there. Like, no guy in a suit should be walking around out there right now. Please don't be like Slender Man or something creepy like that. I'm on the statch. Kill me. Somebody put me out of my misery.